Howard Eskin joining us here on the show. Anyone who's listened to Eskin, he's a sports legend in this town. He's on Fox 29 now, been on WIP, known as the King. He is running for mayor, actually. It's been a big campaign. Hashtag King for Mayor. You can check it out on cheesesteaks.com or kingformayor.com. All the benefits due proceeds to Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. So check that out. Now, Zach, you have Howard. How are you doing today?
I've never had a bad day in my life.
What's that?
I've never had a bad day in my life.
Howard Eskin joins the program. Wow, this is awesome. Howard Eskin and Glenn Macno in the same show, by the way. Okay, let's talk some Eagles. Howard, we're talking studs and duds this week. Who do you think is going to be a stud?
Well, they need more than one player to be a stud. They need a team. They need their offensive line to play well. They need a pass rush and to contain Cam Newton. You can't just pick one player because it's easy to look at a quarterback or a wide receiver or a running back, but it's the other players that really make it happen. So that would not be, I don't think that would be, whether it's fair or not, it would not be the way to look at this game, to look at one player. I'd look at the defense playing well, and then Sam Bradford not turning the ball over as much, and the offensive line to play the way they did last week. That's what I'm looking for, and I think they're going to do it.
Now, what are your thoughts on DeMarco Murray? He had a nice solid game last week against the New York Giants. He added a touchdown, had a nasty stiff arm on that run. Do you think DeMarco Murray's workload is going to increase this week?
Nope, because I think Ryan Matthews is healthier this week than he was last week. I think Ryan Matthews will get more carries. And if you look at DeMarco Murray's carries, or his yardage, most of it came when the Giants were gassed in the second half. So I'm not ready to say he's going to get more carries. He got, 20 or 22 carries. He doesn't need more than that, and he shouldn't get more than that. And I think Ryan Matthews should get more carries. I think Ryan Matthews is just faster and quicker, and I think he's got to be mixed in more to the offense.
Howard, you're around the team a lot, obviously. You're the on-field reporter for the broadcast, Merrill Reese and Mike Quick. This Eagles team is now 3-3. They were 1-3. What have you seen as far as the difference goes in like the mood and the mentality and the emotional side with the team now that they're 3-3?
I think people overvalue that. Being around them, when they're winning a game and it's the third quarter and the second half, you see some excitement when they make plays on the sidelines, but that happens in any football game. The mood doesn't change. They approach their job. They go about their job. They know what they have to do. Jason Kelce knew after last week he can't have any more bad snaps. He's got to be right on the snap count so there's not false starts. But the mood doesn't change. It's the work, and the work doesn't change. They still do the same thing as they've done before. You can't change that because you can't have highs, and that's how you lose games. You can't have highs and lows. You just got to approach your job the same way.
Now, Howard, I don't know if you saw the reports earlier today from ESPN regarding DeSean Jackson having his house raided in a gang-related incident just over the past 48 hours or so. TMZ broke the news earlier today. Do you have any quick reaction to that with obviously the whole entire DeSean Jackson gang tie situation going on with Chip Kelly here a few years ago?
Not shocked. Not a little bit. And I'd like to see, because when he said his house not raided. I don't know if raided is the proper term. Where he had money stolen. All of a sudden, the money went to zero. From 200 and some thousand, it went to zero. So I don't know that he leaves a lot of money laying around. I don't know that there's a lot of money in his house. The last time it happened in Philadelphia, there wasn't a lot of money in there. Now, did the gangs go in there? Yeah, maybe they did. Well, if they said they did, but the last time, from the information I got from the police in Philadelphia, there was no forced break-in. But they did steal a gun. So maybe that's what they're looking for. They went in there and they stole a gun. He does not have that much money laying around in his place. So my reaction is I'm not shocked, but I question the whole situation.
Yeah, they just let the man go. I mean, you have to question that situation. Now,
they let who? You mean the Eagles?
DeSean, yes.
Well, they let him go for a lot of reasons, and nobody wanted him. Washington Redskins were the only ones that were willing to sign him as a free agent. Hey, listen, I like the guy personally. He's been good to me. I saw him when he was in Washington, but he's always on the edge of a problem, and that's the problem. Even though he's a home run hitter as a wide receiver, he's always on the edge of a problem.
Do you think that's an inherent thing with wide receivers? Because it really seems like no,
you can't identify that. There are problems with a lot of athletes. I mean, is Greg Hardy a wide receiver? And he allegedly beat up his girlfriend, and the only reason it's alleged is because his girlfriend wouldn't testify. So he's not a wide receiver. The couple of guys from San Francisco had problems. They're not wide receivers. So, no, it's inherent when you get a lot of money, you're young, get a lot of money. You think, I use the term bulletproof, and you think you can do anything you want to do, and everything will be okay. So it's not relegated to just wide receivers.
Let's bring it back to the Eagles team itself. Howard, obviously there's a lot of turnover on this offense. Things are now starting to gel, but the defense has had more time. A lot more of them came back. Is this an elite defense?
Elite's a tough word. No, they're not an elite defense. They're a very good defense. They're not elite. Elite is the Chicago Bears. Elite is the Baltimore Ravens when they won the Super Bowl in the early 2000s. That's elite. They're not at that level, but they're very good. So the elite comes over time, comes over a season, and you've got to do it for games, not just elite teams wouldn't allow a 90-yard drive by the Washington Redskins. They're good and they're getting better, but you can't go elite yet. You can't kind of throw that out there.
Now, obviously, huge game coming up for the Eagles this weekend as they go into Carolina to take on the Panthers, a Sunday night matchup. Can we just get a quick prediction, and what are you looking for from this game from Philadelphia?
Well, I think the Eagles are going to win the game. I think it's tough for Carolina to come off a win against Seattle out there and just have the same emotion after playing that big a game this week. And I don't know that any team other than Green Bay and New England are really that good in the NFL, are really up at the top of the top of the heap. So I think the Eagles will win because I think the defense is now playing really well. I would think there's somewhere along the line that Sam Bradford is not going to turn the ball over as much. And I don't think Cam Newton, certainly as an athlete, he's terrific. I don't think he's very accurate. I think he'll turn the ball over a couple of times. So I think the Eagles are going to win the game, which would be unbelievable to think they're going to go into the bye week with a winning record, if in fact that happens. But I think they're going to win.
All right. Howard Eskin, we are up against it. That's Howard Eskin from Fox 29 TV and longtime host at 94 WIP. Thank you so much for giving us a few minutes of your time today.
No problem, Zach. Have a great day.
Happy to have you. Take care, Howard. All right, we have to wrap things up here on this Friday edition of Stadium Talk. For Jamie Gray, Daniel Ray,